My name's Mick Berwanger. I'm the senior superintendent. I've been here 6 years in January.
My name's Scott Mobarry. I'm a superintendent for PLK. I've been here, June will be my 4th year.
My name is Hawke Berwanger. My title is assistant superintendent, and I've worked for PLK for I think 2 years now.
My name's Rodgers. I have been working at PLK for 5 months, and I'm the project engineer for the construction team.
David Steinborn. I've worked at PLK for 2.5 years, and the title they gave me is Senior Project Manager. So I worked at a similar company that was a property management development construction company as well. And then I heard about PLK, saw the growth and what they were becoming, and wanted to be a part of it.
Well, I was unhappy the company I was with, and they were starting a construction team, and John had worked with a previous employer of mine, and John had mentioned he was looking for somebody, and my previous employer mentioned me, and I interviewed, and the rest is history.
Originally chose to work at PLK. Actually, Mick Berwanger is the one that kind of led me in this direction. We both came from the same company prior. He talked great about everybody here. I did an interview with John House, and it went great. Came here, started meeting everyone. It's a very family-oriented place to be, so I really enjoy it.
It was kind of an opportunity that got presented to me. They were looking for somebody young with a little bit of experience that they could kind of, almost mold into, something for a future position. And when I got the opportunity, I just didn't think it was smart to try to pass it up. I thought it was a good career move and, good spot for me to be at the age that I was at the time.
I chose to work at PLK because I'd heard great things about the company. I was looking for a good place to start my career out after graduating college. I met with the right people and had a great connection that set me up.
The primary goal of my position is to ensure from start to finish on our project that everything goes according to print, starting off daily with emails all the way down to making sure contractors follow our print, exact measurements. Safety is huge. We need to make sure anything we build is structurally sound and safe from start to finish.
The primary goal of my position is to make sure the day-to-day activities are safe and coordinated and on schedule, whatever the schedule calls for that day. Is to make sure everybody's in the right positions and then checking what they're doing, making sure it's what we bought in our contracts with them and what shows on the drawings.
Well, the primary goal of my position is to take a set of drawings, write contracts, write purchase orders, write schedules, basically build the entire project in my head and on paper to give it to my superintendent for me and him to work together to provide a great place for someone to live.
The primary goal of my position as a project engineer is to keep good record, organize, and coordinate all the different moving pieces that come along with a construction project.
A typical day in my role looks like, it can be very hectic. It just depends on really where the job is at what time. At the end of the job when it's just all finishes, you're just walking in the units, checking everything, making sure you have hot water, making sure that all the doors latch shut, just kind of basic mechanical issues. But then when you're in the middle of the job and you have framing going on, you have concrete work going on, you have finishes going on at the same time, and there's a lot of aspects to it. So just kind of got to basically follow the schedule and just see where everything is at and just making sure you're staying on top of everything. Every
morning I come in, start off with my coffee, open emails, I check all my emails, outgoing, incoming. We send out RFIs, which is a request for more information to make sure every trade is aware if there's a change that's happening. From there, I'll go walk the site, make sure anything that is being built now and yesterday was built per print, per code. Once again, ensure safety. That's number one. Make sure when we're done with the project, it's not going to fall apart and someone get hurt. Secondly, I'll touch base with every contractor, make sure they know their plan of action for each day. We do weekly coordination meetings, and that's how we'll lay out each day of what we do.
Then I make my rounds, see who's working, where they're working at, making sure that, you know, they're in the right spots, doing what the job site recalls for, not just what's best for them.
But a typical day up front is, again, writing contracts, purchase orders, and that can be done at any one of my sites. But then also each day is following up on the superintendents and schedules of where we stand with the job and making sure that it is in line with what we have told property management of when we're going to be turning all the units over.
My days are kind of mixed. A lot of office work and also on-site work, which is nice. I usually start my day looking through my emails and checking up, seeing if there's any questions that need to be answered, and from then just kind of being on call and seeing if what needs done.
The part of my job that I enjoy the most is honestly being relied on a little bit. You know, everybody comes to you for the questions and everybody expects you to have the answers at all times, and, you know, kind of get a sense of pride in being able to answer them and answer them confidently. You know, at the end of the job, just being able to see the finished product and seeing, you know, like the job I'm on right now in Remington Lakes. Been there since it was dirt, you know, and now it's blacktop done. You know, I got one more building to turn over. It's, you know, pretty cool to see what it came from to what it is now.
Bottom line, it comes down to me and my coordination and communicating with everybody out there on the site. I like communicating with them. There's some real good guys. We got some of the best contractors in the city working for us, so that makes it good. You know, there's some real good men out there.
You know, at the end of the project, take a lot of pride in seeing everybody walk through and see how beautiful the place is. So that's probably what my enjoyment most is putting in the hard work, you know, because you know you're going to end up with a good product.
So the part of my job that I enjoy the most is actually the people I work with. I've got a great group of people that I work with every single day, and then we have great departments that we work together every single day, and we collaborate, you know, on a daily basis. So the second part of my job that I enjoy the most is handing the keys over. Handing the keys over to property management. We do walkthroughs at the end of the project. So the buildings get turned over. We do a complete walk inside of every single unit, check everything, make a list, complete the list, and then we hand the keys over to property management.
You work kind of behind the scenes on all the computer work and documents and all that, and then you have the opportunity to go out to the job site and see that work get done, which I think is very rewarding and what I enjoy most about my job.
Something about my job position that might surprise a lot of people is our attention to detail that we have to follow to make sure at the end of the day everything is going to line up the way it's expected to line up. And the amount of also attention to detail safety-wise. You know, like I said, I think I repeat myself a lot on safety. It's really big. We have, you know, a lot of people that live in our properties. You know, just want to ensure everything's built correctly.
Probably just how many questions really I get in a day, and phone calls and emails just about, you know, people needing stuff answered and questions, and you have to answer them correctly and, you know, and confidently, and it falls on you, so you have to make sure they're all answered right.
When they see machines out on the job site and we start moving dirt and we start going vertical, you know, start building, start, you know, putting the wood together, of how much time it actually takes to get to that point. The entire development team, you know, for, you know, getting the property, and then the zoning, and then procuring drawings, engineering, civil drawings, architectural drawings, then giving it to us. And then we take those drawings, we send them all out to bid to get prices, establish budgets, write contracts. All of that's got to be done before anybody comes to the site, and everything has got to be wrote down in contracts, signed contracts, you know, completely secured of exactly what we're doing before we even step foot on the ground.
The amount of coordination and moving pieces that we have to deal with as a construction team on a day-to-day basis. It's very fast moving, although it may not seem like it looking at a building from the outside, but it's a huge undertaking, and kind of seeing what my coworkers are doing and trying to help them out as much as possible. It's a pretty cool process.
So the culture with PLK is different. So I've worked for some other companies before as a third-party GC, is completely different here because we're all as one. We're a construction, property management, development company. We all work together, we all work in sync. You know, from design, from dirt and going out all the way until we hand the keys over. And then we hand them right to property management.
A little about me. So I've got 3 kids, twins that are 10 and a 12-year-old. We do a lot of outdoor activities, hunting, fishing, boating. Me and the kids, we go on vacation every year to Florida right before Christmas. 2 of my sons are avid fishermen, and then my daughter, you know, obviously is not. But we do a lot of fishing in Florida, a lot of beach, good food. But it's just one of our things that we do. We also travel around during the summer as well to different lakes, you know, cabins, do a lot of hiking.
I like to camp. I like to ride motorcycles a lot. We hang out quite often with the kids and grandkids, playing outside and camping, sleeping by a campfire with them.
Big sports family. When we're not here, it's soccer, football, fishing, anything keeps us outside the house. We like the outdoors type family.
Really just like hanging out. My girlfriend has a kid, so, you know, go to the park for him or, you know, whatnot. We like hanging out with family, go over to see my sister, hang out with my dad when I can.
I'm a recent graduate of Xavier University. In my free time, in the summers, I like to spend a lot of time at my lake house, boating, doing water sports. I also love golfing.
Neat things about myself. So I'm an avid fisherman. I fish tournaments every week, competitive bass tournaments, sometimes more than one a week. I build off-road four-wheel drive trucks. I have my own shop. I can fabricate, build engines, basically build them from the ground up.
I'm a certified scuba diver. I am, seriously, I am. I got certified as something I wanted to do and did. I ride roughly 15 to 20,000 miles a year on a motorcycle.
Where do you go? Just around here?
No, I'd take at least 3 or 4 trips a year just by myself. I just grab a sleeping bag and one of my bikes and ride. I've had my last trip, I had breakfast in Muscle Shoals, Alabama, lunch in Tupelo, Mississippi, and dinner in Lake Providence, Louisiana.
I enjoy artwork. I like drawing, painting. I do tattoos as well. I like riding motorcycles a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like motorcycles, big into that, dirt bikes, skateboarding, love music.
Something unique about myself is that I'm a huge wakeboarder. I like to do flips and tricks on the wakeboard, which I think is kind of rare.
This is a great group of guys, and we all get along very good together. We cut up all day long. You heard us all morning. You see how we get along, and so it makes the day go by just so much better. And we got a great group of guys, a lot of things in common. Yeah.